Listener, what can I do for you today? Oh, I know I'm the one that called you here. But, I was hoping you would come up with something. Hmm? I could read you some stories if you'd like. I do have several on the Avidia Forest and Gandharvaville, if that would interest you. Really? Well, let me pull some out of my bag. Let's see here. Here we go. This book is called The Folio of Foliage. Let's see what we've got. So this is a biography written by researchers from ancient Sumeru. It records the tales of the Dendro Archon during the times of the Calamity. It's a very good read. And I think while we're sitting here next to this river, if you want to hold me, I can read to you. How about that? Okay. I don't dare presume to mention her true name, let alone overstep my bounds as an earthly being to judge her divinity. I, Sinitha Kusamagi, a servant of shallow intellect, have merely recorded the stories heard from the sages who followed her in the past and now where else. These words are as true as evident as my own existence. When the moon's shadows shattered, hordes of beasts emerged from the deepest depths of the abyss and devoured living creatures by the thousands. Of those she created, none could escape their destined annihilation. The goodness, peace, and wisdom she had bestowed all perished before this pure malice without exception. Under that sneering, waning moon, the black tide of decay surged over the deserts and through the valleys, turning clear springs, once interlaced with roses, into puddles of filth, defiling the earth as mortals trembled with despair. And the sages called it the Black Tide, for it was a dark flood that swallowed up fields, villages, and cities. She witnessed this all with her own eyes, and wept bitterly for the sorrow and suffering of the living. Her tears fell to the ground, dispelling the foul flames and giving birth to blossoms abounding. With sweet dew from the once barren and scorched earth. However, the root cause of the blight still lay beneath the earth, and the shadow of death continued to obscure the once luminous moonlight. Thus, she vowed to save the creatures of the earth, embarking on a final journey together with her followers. Volume 2. She followed the dappled light and shade until she entered a long, since ruined forest. With each step she took, 1,000 Sumeru lotuses bloomed in her wake. Even every calamity, raging fires, death, and destruction. I'm sorry. I'm not that good at reading. Oh, out loud at least. But you don't mind? Well, that's very kind of you. All were seated before the wonder of her wisdom. Fragrant flowers bloomed and proliferated again in this dead domain, and remain as abundant today as the gravel in the Adravi River. Even hurricanes abated into gentle exhalations, before her singing, causing the bells on her lapels to sway as they rang out elegantly. All the spirits, their envoys, humans, and the inhuman rejoined and praised her name, for she is indeed the most sagacious and the most merciful. What are you doing? Are you laying on my chest? I guess this is okay. Though, traveler, you're making sure I'm comfortable too, right? Of course I am. Where were we? Every calamity, raging fires, death, and destruction, all receded before the wonder of her wisdom. Fragrant flowers bloomed and proliferated. Again, in this dead domain, and remain as abundant today as the gravel in the Tighnari River. Even hurricanes abated into gentle exhalations before her singing, causing the bells on her lapels to sway as they rang out elegantly. All the spirits, their envoys, humans, and the inhuman rejoiced and praised her name, for she is indeed the most sagacious and the most merciful. In the depths of the forest, she collected grass to use as an instrument, plucked flowers for a crown, and played a flawless tune with a clarinet. In an instant, thousands of demonic troops were reduced to dust and scattered to the four winds, never to be found again. She gently brushed away the tears of the forest creatures and soothed their anguish. Just as she once blew the wind of life across the barren sea of sand, like the emissary of an eternal oasis from the immemorial. But this land remained broken. Its heart devoured by evil spirits and monsters who made it their dwelling, a cavern of the damned where neither sun, moon, nor fire shine. The dust they took from treasure and the sludge served as their delicacies. Like birds clad in feathers, but unable to soar in the skies, she decided that she would go to the dark cave and enter that evil place, that none might depart. Continuing on this path of no restitution, this sojourn of utmost purity and mercy, she stepped alone to that emptied earthly heart and softly touched its timeless face, becoming the immortal Galkarena and the earth itself. Every thread of spiritual knowledge and every sweet-smelling plant is her undying will. Another flourishing sea of flowers rolled around her, jade in color, rosy in fragrance, and dewy as heavenly raiment. The songs of 100 birds surrounded her, praising the life that she had at last reclaimed, like a mortal trading their old clothes for fresh ones, casting off their original shackles, and ascending to the eternal temple. Many people had never before heard her voice, or, if they had, they did not know it was her. Those who disseminate well, because they hear words from far and wide, are as rare as those who teach well because they understand the truth. Her will is all-pervading and as indestructible as intellect itself. None can destroy the indestructible, for there has never been an absence of existence in this world, nor the existence of absence. It must be known that the forest was once overrun by a black tide of beasts. The moonlight spilling over the still water was as shattered as the dream it reflected, and the endless labyrinth, too, collapsed in the burning flames. The Lord of all animals let out a furious roar with its dying breath, then fell, protecting all that she had entrusted to him. But the memories themselves did not shatter, collapse, nor fall, like the wisdom she left behind. They were unborn, imperishable, eternal and ancient. Following her guidance, the kingdom of dreams gently snapped off the white branches and rebuilt the verdant hunting grounds from the withered fallen leaves, while the children of the forest, having set forth their ambition, were able to sleep peacefully in the end once more. No matter how much they suffer, the hunter always finds their way home. And this is the first and final promise she made to the children, and to the adults who were once children. Perhaps the moon dust scattered over the world will one day fade away like morning dew. But for those things that remain in memories, all those sweet dreams and thoughts, their purity will remain unchanged as a pearl that even the grinding and whittling of 1,000 winds and sands may not alter. Listener? Listener? Oh, goodness. I had so much more to read to you. Well, I'll let you sleep.